everybody, and welcome back to a new episode of Koki Otaku. Today, my special guest with many hype new characters, such as Bane in Link Click, Silha in I may be a guild receptionist, but I will solo any boss to clock out on time, even then my life has no, I that extra far. And also Alfreya in Why Does Anybody Remember Me in This World, and many other characters to come in the next month. So today we welcome Nic Hamill. Nic, thank you so much.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
How are you feeling so far with these three characters that they are very intense?
They are very intense characters. Lord Alfreya was the first one I did. And then and they were telling me like, hey, this guy's, he's a bad guy, so kind of get ready for that. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, this is gonna be a great time. And then Silha, same thing. They were like, hey, this dude's a big bad. Like, you're gonna have to go all out with this guy. And I'm like, cool. All right, two villains in the repertoire. Let's go. And then I got pulled for my baby boy, Vane. My boy. I love this guy so much. Yeah, another not so great guy, but he's less godlike and more, down to a human level. And so he's more manipulative. So that I love this guy. I love him.
Let's kick it off with Bane, because Bane is a character, and a character, what I mean. For those who haven't seen yet Bane in the very recognized big series Link Click, how do you describe this series or Link Click?
I would describe it as it's a very much like sci-fi mystery. I mean, I've seen some, like a friend of mine, Corey, who's in the show, has described it as his comfort anime. And I'm always like, I don't know how this is a comfort anime for anybody. Like, when I first announced that I was Vane, everybody kept commenting, hey, welcome to the club where you're going to be so sad all the time. Welcome to you are going to be so depressed after watching this show. Like, it is heartbreaking. And I was like, oh my God, like, what did I sign up for? Like, what am I getting into? And it's a great anime, or Dongwa, and it's a phenomenal show. I fell in love with it the moment I started it, and Vane is a scary guy and a very interesting show for sure.
And I love the description of Link Click, because like you mentioned, Link Click is like Corey mentioned, it's slowish but not slow. It is kind of shonen, but it's not Dragon Ball Z. It is slice of life, but it's not you're like in April. I don't like to call it arc, but every story you have a very nice ending. And we're talking about this kind of time travel.
Mm-hmm.
It bring me back memory to the old anime from the 90s. Get backers that they were like dealing with personal problems, and they got only that get backer was through the memory of the people. And this is what we're talking about, through the memory going to the past of the people.
Yes.
And one of the elements that you mentioned, this one is from Korea, which people start yelling, "Oh, anime is not from Korea, it's only Japan." I'm not going to open the Pandora box. Hit it up. You guys hit it up. It's in the Crunchyroll, call it anime.
Yeah.
And you had this newish character which come like kind of half point, right? Half the point of the story to where we are right now.
Yeah, so the first episode of the third, it's kind of weird because it's like it is the third season, but they don't call it season 3. They call it the Brighton arc. And he kind of makes his way like halfway through that season, like two or 3 episodes, 4 episodes into like actually seeing him, in all his glory.
Yeah. Tell me that's not drama tell me that it's drama without telling me that it's drama. When they, instead of calling season 3, they call it the Brighton arc. That's drama all the way out. And
oh yeah.
Bane, very interesting character. sassy, aggressive. How do you describe these characters?
I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, he is such a sassy. He owns a modeling agency. So whenever I started, going into record for him and I was reading the lines and I was seeing that, he owns this agency, I was like, oh my God. Okay. So he's a very much like Devil Wears Prada, like, a bad guy from Catwoman, the model that wants to live forever and, just be bigger than life at all times. And I think that is how I would 1,000,000% describe Vane. He's scary, but down to earth. Like, he cares for his people, but it's very hard to tell because as it is a Chinese donghua, there's no like background. There is no background to it. It's all being written concurrently. So I don't have much to go off of with this guy. So I'm learning about him as soon as you guys are. Like, I'm figuring out what he's all about right then and there. If there was like a manga or anything I could go read to really get a hang of him or get a handle on him, I think that would be fun. But at the same time, I'm so happy to be able to learn all his characteristics, who he is as a person right there in the moment, and being able to kind of navigate that and create that path for him. Because again, you hit the nail on the head.
And I appreciate you correct me. It's not Korean. It's Chinese. Studio Billy. I'm here like early. We need more caffeine here.
It's early. Yeah, you're good.
So, being these type of characters, they love to bring the audience from suspense, surprise, or shock us with some mystery aspect that suddenly, from the middle of nowhere, they throw it in the story. Any moment that you can recall that really hit you hard, surprised you from Bane?
The first moment he's in the show. The very first moment he's in the show. I won't spoil anything, but
Spoil. It's too early. Yeah, I mean, it had been months already after the release.
I'll say, okay, spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen it. Skip a few seconds if you have to, because I want you to watch it. It's a great series. But in the first episode of the Brighton arc, he literally shoots and kills Chung Shashu, our main protagonist, with Lu Guang, Chung Shashu voiced by Alejandro Saab, and Lu Guang voiced by the amazing Zeno Robinson, both two amazing, talented actors. And I shoot and kill Chung Shashu. And when the series dropped, or when the episodes dropped, I would see like pictures or videos and people would comment like, who is this guy? Why did he do that? Like, he's terrible. And I'm like, I know he's not great, but I love him. And so it was crazy. That was the point that I realized, oh my gosh, like, this guy means business. He's not kidding around.
And between all those guys, those people, you see the guy in the corner, which is me, which is like, that's an entrance. That's an entrance. I don't care where you're standing up with it. Which team are you? That's an entrance, how you call it. And talking about entrance, one of the series that really surprised many of us, not only with the title, which was long, like a theoretical, like a thesis presentation, doctoral thesis. We're talking about Silha in I may be a guild receptionist, but I will solo any boss to the clock out on time. That was the title, guys. I didn't add it, didn't make it up. That's the title.
Yeah.
Or just always seen this title, this anime, which surprisingly, yes, it described the first minutes, doesn't describe the series. How do you describe this series?
I would describe it. So I love the fact that you're getting the perspective of the person handing out the jobs, the guilds. Because, in every anime you see or every show, you get your team and they're going, they're like, hey, we need a job. We want to go fight somebody. And then the receptionist, who is 9 times out of 10, always some feeble, small person. and they're like, okay, here's your job, and they go off, and that's the end of that guy. Like, bye, receptionist. But this one really hones in on the reality, and it gives a bit more of like, I always thought that it had such a unique feel to it, because it's like you can resonate with that, because this receptionist, like all of us, is like, oh God, I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to get off work. I'm not working overtime. So y'all better be back in this office with your jobs completed so I can go home. And you find out she's just this omega powerful person, voiced by Jill Harris, phenomenal actress. And it's such a fun show to watch. And I think it really takes a unique path to allow you to get get a visual on a character that you normally wouldn't spend a whole lot of time with. And I think they did a great job with it.
Which I appreciate you brought that detail, because most of the time, I feel like one of the few times in other series where we saw like an kind of active receptionist was It Is Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, Dan Manchi, which is still in production, still waiting for that final arc. In that kind of story, we have many side characters, but they're more active. So I think that's one of the few moments we see like an active receptionist. And finally, we get this series. We're like, oh, what the heck? And like you mentioned, OP character in secret. Nobody knows what she's doing after hour. Only know that there's a person out there with a black cloak and with a very powerful hammer, which let's not it. It's not a sword. It's not a gun. It's a
ginormous hammer.
Which I'm like, damn, this girl really worked out. She really worked out. And talking about working out, your character Silha would definitely Silha work out here. How do you? Okay,
big man.
How was the experience with giving the voice to Silha?
So when I came in for Silha, it was directed by the amazing Manny Aragon. Love that guy. He was like, hey man, this character, I actually am pulling you from your general auditions that you submitted. You did kind of like a narrated, like, very powerful voice. And this Lord Silha or the Dark God Silha, he's very powerful. And so I was like, okay, yeah, I can do that. And it was such a fun experience, because you always get these big bads that think, I'm not going to be beat. I can't be beat. I'm the guy. I'm a dark god. You can't beat me. So it was really fun kind of going in, like having to have this big ego every time I get in the booth, and I'm like, all right, like nobody's above me. I'm the big bad. And then I get crushed, and it was such a fun series because I got to fight against Kamen Casey. I forget the actor's name or how to pronounce his name. And we can like edit that however you want to edit that. But when I were fighting in this series, and I'm, knocking him around, and it's like, I'm not even entertained by this guy. He's not even anything worth my time. And then in comes, Jill, the receptionist, and just starts beating me to a pulp. So it was fun being able to have a wide range of emotion from, I'm higher than life, I'm better than all of you, to, okay, somebody's here and they withstood one of my attacks. That's kind of crazy. And then we're like, oh my God, like, I think I'm going to die. So it was fun being able to have those like roller coaster of emotions.
And I feel like in the past 5 years on the anime, they tried to make it like a trope at this badass character, which I'm not going to try to make that voice. I'm way too far from that voice. They go from some kind of serious intimidators, and suddenly they're like funny. Uchigo Tensei, woof! I swear it. Uchigo Tensei, one of the badass characters, also had that kind of voice. I cannot make it. And suddenly he's like, oh, guys, drink with me, laugh with me. And you have that switch from boy from strong, I'm going to kill everybody, to, hey, let's laugh together. So in your case with this character, there's any physical demand from your voice, like it really make you tired, or how you make it from that long to stay in that tone? Because I don't think that's a very natural for everybody. There's people after that's the tone, but not
Sure.
everybody's there.
It definitely taught me a lot of lessons. It taught me to use more of the diaphragm. And at that point, when people told me to use my diaphragm, I'm like, great. How do I don't know how to do that. Like, can you please help me? I don't know how to do this. And so, Manny was like, hey man, you're going to be screaming a lot in some of these scenes. You're going to kind of have these mental breakdowns. So just, make sure you rest up, drink lots of warm tea, use your diaphragm, take care of yourself. And so one of the things that I would just try to do was, as he's larger than life and he's so excited for every fight. But when he's getting knocked around, he's losing it more, and he's getting so upset. And it required so much of me to use more up here rather than in here. And as far as like the physical demands, there was a lot of screaming when it came to using my Dia chant, blood spear, or when I'm telling my swords, he summons this army of swords surrounding our amazing receptionist, and it is so much yelling, and I'm having to literally like swing in the booth without trying to make it sound like I'm going past the booth and doing all this weird stuff. So it was a very physically demanding show, but it was the most rewarding outcome. Like, Manny had such a good idea of what he was wanting, and Jill was able to direct a couple of times as well with me, and they were just phenomenal in every essence of that direction.
Which I appreciate you bringing those details of the acting behind the mic, because I will never get over early years stage of this podcast when we were recording with Mexico voice actors. One of them, directors, he always used to say, the mics watch you what you're doing. And for me, it was kind of hard to understand. The mic is watching you.
Just watching.
The camera is there. And then you start explaining that even that it's audio, people can see through your voice what you're doing behind. You're punching, you're jumping, you're really doing stuff, or you're just being monologue trying to be something that you're not really doing. And that's part of the physical demand that many people underestimate or don't realize is happening behind the voice till they witness in person.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was something that was taught to me as well. Like, it was Sean Gann that was telling me, it's big acting, little voice. You can have the best voice out there. You can have the crisp, cleanest. You can have the most protagonist sounding voice or antagonist sounding voice. But if your acting's not there, you're at a catch-22. You're hitting a wall. And so that was something that I was like, I'm just going to go. I'm just going to have fun with this. I'm going to be very physical with it. And so, yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I'm going to start utilizing that. The mic is watching you. I love that. That's so cool.
I can say if watching, I think seeing you in Spanish, it is el micrófono está viendo. Like the microphone is watching. But the correct translation, the Microsoft sees was being happening. Talking about those skills, how do you land in the anime voice acting? Because many people want to be anime voice acting, but anybody make it here.
Yeah. I'll make a long story short for you for the essence of time. But basically, I was taking classes. I always heard that the best place, it was a couple of friends, fellow actors were telling me, hey, take classes at some studios. Go take voice acting classes, take one-on-ones, take online classes, watch videos, do everything you can to work on your acting. And then I just so happened to make a self-directed demo reel. Had no idea what I was doing. It was a very good friend of mine that was willing to help me do it. And we just made it. I submitted it to Crunchyroll's roster. They started sending back generals. And then I got pulled for Why Does Nobody Remember Me in This World as a sergeant that was like not on screen. I was so excited. I was like telling my wife after I went in, I'm like, babe, we've done it. We're in Crunchyroll. And then I go back and watch the scene, and it was like, you don't even see me. And so I was like, you know what? I don't care. I could have been a snail or like a fly just making buzzing noises. Like, I got it to be in a show of something I've always wanted to do. And then a couple weeks later, they were like, or next week, they were like, hey, we want to work with you as Lord Alfreya. Could you come in for that? And I was like, yes, yes, please. So that was, I was very fortunate. I would say that I really started honing in on my acting ability and started just really trying to hone in on that craft. And it just happened to land in the right spot at the right time. And Jerry Jewell was the director of Why Does Nobody Remember Me in This World? He is the director for Link Click. He is a phenomenal director. I have had nothing but amazing times working with him. He's been phenomenal.
However, you have also previous experience from video gaming voicing.
Mhm.
Video game, right?
Kind of, yeah. And this one doesn't get talked about a lot. There was what do you call those? It was manhwa. It was a manhwa, but you could play it. It was a playable manhwa. It was called The Villainess Just Wants to Eat. I recorded this back in Georgia, like before I even moved here. And I just submitted this audition for this guy named Louis. He just a love interest. And I didn't know it was going to be what it was. I mean, it's not something that just blew up and, mainstreamed, whatever, but it had a good following. And the director was phenomenal. I still keep up with them on social media, and they're still doing many other projects. But yeah, I mean, it was just it was a manhwa that you could play. And literally they had me read a lot of lines for it. And a lot of the times you're just hearing me going like, huh? What? And then like later on, you'd start hearing lines as the cutscenes would go and everything. But it was so cute. That's all I'll say that. It was so cute. And I loved every part of it. It was so fun. My wife got to play it too.
Believe it or not, I'm a big fan of those games. On Steam, they call it, they're still game, but they call it a drama, novel, drama, story, video game, which is just like, it is like a drama. It is like a comic or movie, but your choice. Choose the path of the character. So, I'm a big fan of those games. So, especially if I want like to slow down the day, I go, let me see which I'm going to play on Steam today. Oh, this one I'm going to play. And it is those stories many times are great. But also you have some previous experience with cartoon, right?
Yes, I was the voice. If you're referring to this venture camp, that was a very fun experience. They were looking for Odd Nation Cartoons. Were looking for a Hispanic voice actor, and I was like, well, I'm Hispanic. Like my family is from Mexico, and I have family from America, and so I was like, I could do that. I want to make sure I'm staying true to that. And I let them know, I was like, hey, I'm half Hispanic, half American. Is that going to be a problem? And they were like, not at all. Like, as long as you can throw a good accent, you'll be set. So I immediately, like, I have a pretty generic American accent, I would say. So my dad, who is very Hispanic, shout out David, I love you so much. I was like, okay, I know what I need to do. I was telling my wife, I was like, I need to call my dad and just talk to him for like 20 minutes. And so I just get him on the phone, like take my voice, but just make it so raspy and very quiet. So it's hard, like it's fun to talk to him because like I can hear him plain as day, but some other people can't really hear him. So I'm calling him up. Hey, Dad. Hey, Nicolas, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just getting ready to do a show, and I was gonna see if I could talk to you for a second. Yeah, like everything okay? What's going on? How's Texas? And so that was my way to be able to like adapt my voice, but be able to throw the that Hispanic accent on it. And it was so fun. It was so fun. I loved being able to dive into that.
Hey, that impersonation of your dad, it reminded me like Antonio Bandera. I was hearing the cat from Trek. Oh,
Yeah, I think that was a missed opportunity for my dad. He should have moved to LA because he could have done it. He could have done it, but Antonio Banderas did a phenomenal job anyways. But no, my dad, he is so funny. Anytime I get to talk to him, he texts me in Spanish, but he'll talk to me on the phone in English. So I'm always like, I wonder what I'm going to get when I call him. Like, sometimes I'll talk to him in Spanish just to keep my practice up, and he'll just respond to me in English, like, "Oh, hola pa, ¿qué está haciendo?" Like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm just sitting here. And I'm like, okay, I guess we're not going to do the back and forth in Spanish. That's fine. We'll just throw that out. We'll just do English. It's cool.
Hey, that's English. That's called Spanglish. Spanish. Yeah. Who you don't know what you're talking about. I mean, you don't know you're speaking Spanish, English. And many times you didn't realize. I mean, many people, I've seen many episodes for Otaku, you see me speaking English and suddenly I'm speaking Spanish. I don't even realize. It happened at work many times. Like sometimes I'm in a big presentation and I speak in Spanish and I see people's face and I'm like, wait, what did I just say? You didn't understand. Why? Did I just speak Spanish? Yes, you did. Shoot. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me go back to present. So, you experience already 3 industry: cartoon, American cartoon, video gaming with the drama, which storytelling, damn it, that genre of video gaming, and the anime, and not only anime. No, you have now anime from Japan and anime from China. But really, do you feel that difference from industry when performing for these characters?
I would say when it comes down to like what I've particularly been able to do, I feel like with the Dongwa, there is a little bit more of an element of a surprise to it rather than, with the Japanese anime, because with the Dongwa, again, like there's nothing behind it. But a great friend of mine, Corey Wilder, who voices our beautiful boy in Link Click, and he was telling me like, dude, when I voiced him, I didn't know anything about him. Like, it's hard because I don't know. I can't go and read or watch something about him. Like, I don't know anything about him. And now I'm come full circle. Now I'm in it, and I'm like, I have no idea who this guy is. I don't know what he's about. I don't know where he comes from. I don't know what his past is, because there's no manga there's no source material that I can just go back on and just look at. So there is a little bit more of an element of surprise when it comes to the voicing the Dongwa, which is something I actually really like, because I feel like as an actor, it really pulls more, not necessarily more out of me, but it definitely causes me to think on my feet a little quicker and really trust in my director and trust in my instincts, and just try to make the best decision possible with what I have available to me in that moment.
And to wrap that up, talking about diversity or experience on character, we had to wrap it up with Alfreya in Why Does Nobody Remember Me in This World? And even that we're in the range of serious character, it's a different approach. We're talking about military approach in this case. Well, not military, but military sergeant rank. For those who haven't seen Why Does Anybody Remember Me in This World, how do you describe this series? Which, again, the long title, but it's beyond that long title.
Yeah. So basically, you've got our character. And I one thing I will tell anybody and everybody, I am so, like, I do sales by day, so I can remember your name anytime. But in this show in particular, it was so long ago that I, like, every character's name, it is just like, I'm trying to remember the names. I know the actors who play the characters, but basically we have our main protagonist. He and his squad, they're looking for this sword to try to make sure the evil doesn't come back out again. And then it's almost like isekai-esque, where he's talking to his sergeant. They're very close and they seem to have a little bit of romantic feelings for each other, but then she starts glitching out
Bring the
He
tea. Ah,
transported. Yeah, exactly that. He starts.
it's tea.
Is he? It's
I
okay,
call
man. No
liquid,
judgment here.
liquid dead tea. By the way.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, man. No, I'm just kidding. Uh, no. It. So he starts like glitching out and goes to this other world where, cue the main title. Nobody knows who this guy is. He sees his comrades and he's like, "Hey guys, what are y'all doing?" And they're like, "Do I know you?" And it's super fascinating to see this type, because like I said, a lot of isekais, it's very much like, oh, I was reading a manga and I got transported into this world, or oh, I died and now I'm in a fairy tale story. But this was like, no, I already have a life here. Everything's normal with my friends, but now my friends and my love interest have no idea who I am. So I thought that was a pretty interesting type of story. It's a confusing story with a lot of bad guys that I really like. I thought it was a very unique touch on that.
Yeah, we don't see Truck-kun on this series, the truck character that transport everybody to the isekai world.
Exactly that.
Everybody rely in Truck-kun, who you can think about a truck. Somehow it has to be a truck, and you wake up in another world. So
Exactly.
this character, we're talking about a serious character. How do you describe your character to start with? Alfreya.
Lord Alfreya was, at first when I was voicing him, I was worried that I might not be bringing enough to him, because again, this is where you have to trust your director and you have to trust your instincts, because I'm going all out at the beginning of it and he's like, "Hey, I like what you're doing. Let's pull it back a little bit." And I was like, okay, I'm not going to question it. And then it wasn't until after seeing his progression, he's not himself. He has been corrupted. Something has taken over his mind. He is in the land of the angels, and he's a pure character that uses a bell. And there was one more item that he had, and I can't remember it, but it was like this magic bell that he would use, and a sword. And that's how he used his enchantments. That's how he used his divine power. And he starts going against everything. And he's just not himself up here. So when I was voicing him, he was just very monotone. And he was not here to play. So it was really fascinating to see him go from this very monotonous character to then starting to get his memories back just a little bit vaguely, to then just having all around blow up like Dragon Ball scene when he comes back. It's amazing.
So to wrap it up, from these three characters that we spoke today, we spoke more than three characters today, from Bane, Silha, and Alfreya. Which one will be that character philosophical, this is not real life, but which one would you trust more? Trust hey, I have a credit card with a lot of balance, here you go, give it to me in a few months, and you know that credit card will not go crazy, it will be safe, and you will not be charged or call for the bank that your credit card is already over the maximum limit.
We're talking over the scope of everything I've done, or anime specifically?
You have done for your characters.
Ooh, okay. That is a fun one. I would not trust James Costa, because he would go on a shopping spree, and I don't trust him with that. I would honestly, I think I would give it to Vane. Only because I would put Vane, because he's got a model agency. Like, he's an entrepreneur. Like, he knows how to spend money. He is very over the top, larger than life, but he knows how to be financially successful with his experiences and with his agencies. Now, again, I don't know too much about his past. I can envision, maybe he started out kind of in a rough home life, and then turned into this like larger than life character, very, I would say very Freddie Mercury-esque. Like, he's going to be larger than life, and he's going to be very unapologetically him. And I would trust him any day with my credit card. Any day.
I had to confess, I didn't see that one coming. I thought Vane would be the guy that he might do a big investment and suddenly you get a call like, hey, your car was declined because you're, hey, buddy, what the hell's going on? Oh, no, because I had to use it for something. But
I
chill,
feel like
chill.
I feel like I would get that call and I'd be like, "Hey, Vane, like, what are you doing with my credit card?" And he's like, "Oh, you now own a car wash. Like, it's a great industry. Like, now I bought a lot and I've already put everything in, so your ROI is going to be even better." And I'm like, I'm just going to be okay with it. Like, all right, that's fine. Or like, oh yeah, I opened up a box lunch in the mall. It's a very successful industry and it's nothing but Vane merch. And I'm like, great, yeah, okay, that's fine. Like, okay. No, I would absolutely, if not Vane, Lord Alfreya, just because his natural self is a very pure person. But nah, Vane's an entrepreneur. He knows what he's doing. I trust him.
I live it with Vane because even right now I have no clue how that will go. I have no prediction where that's going to go. So Nic, thank you so much. For those who haven't followed you yet, with social media, can they follow you?
Yeah, so if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can find me at the Nic Hamill VO, and that is NICHAMILL VO. And then on Instagram, you can follow me there. I'm pretty sure I am also the Nic Hamill VO, or if you just search up Nic Hamill, you'll find me on there. Please, I would love it.
Easier, or just go down to the description of the video on YouTube, tab small box. I don't know why YouTube keeps changing the freaking format of the video. Fuck. The bar below that small box that looks like 3 sentences, you add to read more, you're going to see that it's not 3 sentences, like 20 sentences. And right there, you're going to find Nic's links to his social media. Just click over there, boom, you land on the social media. And because YouTube is not playing to help us to content creators, just also drag your mouse to whenever the new like button, whenever they place it now, find the like button on this video and follow us on any social media on Koki Otaku, any social media except Twitter. Blue Sky, you name it, all social media except Twitter. So, Nic, thank you so much for everything.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. This was such a fun experience. This is my first time ever doing anything like this. So I appreciate you taking care of me here and helping me get through this. This is such a fun time. Thank you so much.
You have a great time. And we guys will see you guys in the next episode. Sayonara.
Later.